What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of AirBehr Chats. Today I'm joined by no other than Jayce the Ace from SoCal. Jayce, I know you've been a player that's been around, and I actually remember way back watching you during the vanilla days, and this is when you were like known as the Prodigy.
For real?
Yeah, you were the Prodigy.
This
is very long. This is, I think, when most people started playing Street Fighter 4. Yeah. I remember seeing you, I think it was bar fights at the time. Like, what was the first bar fights? This is like when, I think it was Geb is his name, the Gen player?
Yeah, the Gen player.
Yeah, and then like all those, I mean, I know, and who's the Balrog player's name again? I'm so sorry. Kino, yes, yeah. Kino, great Balrog player from the time.
Back in 09.
This is 09, man, this is classic. So, I just want to know how you've been doing since then, you know, like you've been actually, I mean, you're still a very strong player, and now I think this is your first time ever coming to Vancouver here. Yeah. And I kind of want like people to kind of get to know you. So one thing I just want to know is like, you know, you started playing from so young. Like, how did you first get into Street Fighter?
I actually was never into Street Fighter. I just, when I saw them make the arcade stick, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I want one, but I didn't want to buy one. I wanted to be cheap and to make one.
Did you actually end up making one?
No, I mean, it was total like crap. And then I only played Street Fighter because the arcade stick was meant for Street Fighter. Oh, okay. And so I would play Third Strike first. And it turned out that no one ever plays Third Strike anymore. Oh, and the Street Fighter 4 had just come out like a few weeks back. Like maybe a week in console, a week back. Yeah. So then I was like, alright, I'm just going to play Street Fighter 4. And then I guess I heard there were tournaments going around. And I heard like there was one tournament that Alex Valle was going to be at. And I had no idea who he was at first.
Wow.
But so I went to that tournament, and then I lost, and I played Ken, and I lost. I mean, I was not good.
So was this like very early in Street Fighter 4?
This was probably like a few weeks in the Street Fighter 4.
Okay. Yeah,
or like a month in Street Fighter. It's when Vanilla came out.
So you started off with Ken.
I started off with Ken.
Yeah, and then like what did you like? Did that discourage? Like I guess that didn't discourage you since you're here now. Like you just kept going after that. Or?
I just kept watching. How I learned was watching Japanese players because there was no top player in the U.S. at that time. Since the game just came out, there was only good Japanese players. So I would just continuously watch Japanese players, and I try to understand what they were doing. Wow. And then the first tournament I went to that actually had meaning was West Coast Warzone. Wow. And I forgot. I think I placed within top 32. I lost to Kino.
Nice. They were just talking about him.
Yeah, I lost to Kino, and I was playing Ken, and he beat me with Balrog. I didn't get owned or anything, but like, that was when I started to understand that like, you know, this game is pretty tough. Yeah. And so.
Unforgiving, I guess, at the time, right?
Yeah.
So, were you playing like I did in Third Strike, so you weren't playing any fighters before this?
I played Brawl, but I wouldn't consider that
Smash
as a fighter.
And stuff.
Yeah,
okay,
that was different.
That's really awesome. So, I mean, I guess you were still playing Ken at that time.
Yeah, I was playing Ken.
And then, like, how long before you met Valle?
How long? I met Valle at Bar Fight. No, not Bar Fight. At the Hooters tournament that Gutex had hosted. Okay. They hosted a Hooters tournament, and I went to that tournament, and that was when I already switched to Viper. So what happened there was, I guess, I had to play Kino again. Oh, wow. But this time I played him with Viper. And then I took him out. Wow, nice. And then people were really shocked because at that time, Kino was probably one of the best players in the scene in SoCal.
Oh, for sure. He was easily the best Balrog.
And so I made it to top 8. And then that's where I got my name, Jayce. But then nothing had happened. I just got the best match of the tournament. Yeah. And then the Hooters tournament was to qualify for bar fights. And even I lost to Shady K in top 8, but then Shady K couldn't make the qualify. They couldn't make the actual bar fights. Okay. So Gutex had called me, and he told me to ride with Valle. And that was the first time I actually talked to Valle. Nice. When he told me to ride with him to get to bar fights. And then that's how I met Valle.
That's awesome. Because I think I've even seen, like, Valle kind of considered you his prodigy after a while. Like, he was just kind of like, you know, he was kind of repping you, you know, like, you know, this is my boy from,
basically, that's what he did. And, I mean, I'm glad. I'm really honored that he did that for me.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
I appreciate it very much.
Did you ever, like, get to train with him, like, a lot? Like, ever since you guys first started talking and stuff, like, was this, like, around the time when he started doing the Wednesday night fights, I guess, again?
This was still in Shigo's garage when that fights. Oh, okay. And I actually never met up with Valle to train. Wow. I only played him in tournament. Okay. And he would always pick me up and take me to local tournaments, but we never actually trained. And it was always be me and him in grand finals. And that's where I learned like I would only play him in grand finals and like winner and back in losers, like it'd be winners finals then back to grand finals in tournaments, awesome. And then it'd be over and over again. And he would at first he would beat me consistently, and then I started to get in there, and it would get better, and I would start doing better and better, and then now it's a legit match. He's not bodying me anymore.
That's awesome. That's really, really cool. So do you still to this day, do you still like go out to do you still go out to tournaments with Valle at all, or do you play against him a lot or anything like that, or do you...
Well, he doesn't go out to small local tournaments anymore now that he has Wednesday night fights, but he does invite me to his live session every once in a while, and then we just stream and just chill with
this is his lobby, right?
Yeah, it's his lobby that he always does. And
okay.
Yeah.
One thing I'm actually very curious of. We'll go a little bit back here. Obviously, you started playing with Valle a lot. You know, you kind of started making a name for yourself from all these like bar tournaments and stuff. You know, what made you switch from Ken to Viper? I mean, like what really intrigued you about Viper at the time? Did you just feel like she was more your style, or like she was just better of a character? What was it exactly?
It was first I went from Cammy to Ryu to Viper.
Okay.
So at first I played not Cammy, Ken to Ryu to Viper.
Okay.
I played Ken, and I guess I didn't really like the situations that Ken has to put himself in to win.
Yeah.
And then I played Ryu, and I was trying to learn how to play footsies. But at that time I was sucked at footsies, so I kept losing with Ryu because my zoning, my spacing was all bad. So then one day I just chose Viper in training mode, and I remember seeing, who was it? Marn played Viper at West Coast Warzone, the one where I lost the Kino, the Ken one.
Yes.
And then it seemed really cool how Viper could like do a bunch of tricks basically. Like she's like a flashy character. Like it's fun to watch her play sometimes. And then when I'd watch Japanese Vipers play, it'd be amazing. I would be amazed at like how crazy. Like it made Marn's Viper at that time completely different. Like the Japanese Vipers were pretty on point.
Yeah.
So then I wanted to pick her up. So then I would just go in training mode and try to practice like Fierce Faint Fierce, and it took me like months.
Oh yeah.
So I was ever actually solid.
Considering this was kind of like your official first fighting game, I'd say I know you played Third Strike. That's pretty rough because I think Viper is pretty rough to pick up, especially like in terms of inputs and stuff. So you'd be like a training mode monster, I guess.
I basically with Viper I would training mode the hell out of her.
That's awesome.
Like no kidding, and then. Like, I would play my friends, like Andy OCR and Richard Nguyen and a couple of those guys.
Yeah.
And then, I guess, I would still lose at tournaments but I kept practicing. And I kept going training mode. I didn't play Xbox Live at the time. I hardly ever touched Xbox Live. I just training mode, and I went to the arcade.
Yeah.
And then, at one point, the Hooters tournament came up, and then I ended up doing well.
Yeah.
And that was that.
That's awesome. That is really, really cool.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I guess I'll stop it there. I don't know if Eric asked you, sorry, but any shout-outs you want to give out to your SoCal family here? I know this is your first time in Vancouver here. We love having you here, but like, anyone you want to just really reach out to while you're here? Because I'm sure the SoCal brothers right now, they're really cheering you on.
Yeah.
So.
Thanks everyone. In SoCal, you guys are awesome. Thanks to you guys, I can be as good as a player as I am today. And thank you, Bear, and Air for letting me star on the show.
No, thank you for friggin' being here for us too. Like I hope you don't body Canada too hard, but everyone will be cheering you on. So, you're repping AirBehr too when you're up there. So thank you so much, Jayce, for the interview, dude.
No problem.
And we'll see you guys another episode of AirBehr real soon.